Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and ZLTAC fans. My name is Mooshu. I'm from the WA Grizzlies, and tonight we are doing Eurochat. And to my right, I have the lovely Gustice of the Canberra Dragons.
Yep, that's it.
And then to my left, I have Cooper of the Blue Eagles. Now, what we're going to do with Eurochat tonight is talk everything about ZLTAC and everything about, I guess, the European scene in general, the differences, things we like, things we hate, your experiences, what we're excited for, and of course taking questions from the Twitch chat. So if you have any questions about the European scene for either Gustice or Cooper, just put it in chat. And
or for Mooshu.
Or for me, because I definitely know everything about the European scene. That's why I have some guests.
Chat.
Yes. Okay. So, Gustice, well, let's start with you, my friend.
Grace.
Now, so last year you attended the 2018 Zone Laser Tag European Championships, which was in Helsinki, Finland, which is the land of saunas and beautiful men.
And GP.
And GP, yeah,
It's a big tourist point for them.
Hence the beautiful men part. So, broadly speaking, can you tell me about your experience? Like, what was the flight like? Why did you go? Who did you play with? Let's start from the top. Why'd you go?
A couple of reasons. Cooper being one of them, which is great.
Ooh. Okay.
No, like seeing everyone who I met the year before at Belfort Worlds in France was a big one.
Okay.
A couple of people from here were going. The main reason was a great chance to travel. So good to see some friends that I've met over the years.
Yeah, no, I do find
go
that
around Europe a bit.
I do find that like that's how like I do any sort of traveling is like there's a laser tag focus.
Yeah.
And I suppose you sort of wet your whistle with traveling to worlds because you've been to a couple of worlds now, haven't you? Yeah.
One in Australia. Which
doesn't really count. Yeah. Okay. And so who did you play with when you were over there?
So the Australia team was Mopar, myself, Snosh, also from Canberra.
Yep.
So Gracie Mopar from Queensland.
Yep.
And Pixie from Adelaide. Yeah.
Correct. And what was your team name?
We were called True Blue.
True Blue?
Yeah,
Well,
in Australia.
Ooh.
Classic Australian
Did everyone
fashion.
get it? Did you have to explain to them what it was and that sort of thing?
We didn't explain it. I'm not 100% sure if everyone got it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, no. And so, how was the teams event? Because obviously they played the Worlds format there, which is one shot a second, eight shots a second. How was that the teams event?
yeah, I really enjoyed it. Look, I love laser tag.
Yeah.
As far as their team event went, it's pretty similar except for the one shot a second and stuns.
Yeah.
So
And is there any additional rules? Like, because I know one of the things with GP is they seem to never have their their phaser on their Helios phaser, the sensor facing inwards. It's always outwards. There's no
that wasn't specified to us. I held the laser how they wanted.
Definitely, you just ignored a rule the entire time.
They didn't mind. Well, I was never termed for it.
Yeah. Okay. So
fine.
something there.
There was no wall hugging.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like the covering rules are slightly different.
Okay, so does the covering rule apply to like the phaser over there? Or?
Yeah, like it's just to make sure there's not touching the body. Like it's just something that they don't used to or something. But anyway, you can ask the GP. I'm sure they will answer why they didn't do it. But
the GP have just been coming for 2 years, thinking that everyone's covering and just that. So how many teams were there?
I played by the same covering rules I play by here and didn't get termed at all. So. Not an issue.
Sounds good. So how many teams were in the main teams event?
There was
roughly
around 15.
Around
15 teams. Yeah.
Now, where'd you end up finishing?
We finished 7th.
Ooh.
6th,
7th, and GP ultimately won it, didn't you?
GP did win. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now,
they did a great job.
So as for us here in ZLTAC, Australia and New Zealand, the competitiveness over the past sort of 4 or 5 years has really ramped up.
It absolutely has.
Yeah, and how would you, I guess, describe the difference in competitiveness there between ZLTAC and ZLTAC?
Well, I was just thinking about it, and I think if you kind of boiled down our 40 teams into 15, it'd be very similar.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So that's if our top 10 teams got turned into 2 or 3, that would be like GP, Score Bandits, and then it's kind of a very similar scale. Our worst teams probably similar level to their worst teams.
Okay. One of the things I sort of asked you before, and you were, I guess, sort of thinking about it was if you were to bring your team or maybe even your fantasy team to take to a ZLTAC event, how do you think you would do compared to how True Blue went?
I think even one of the really good Canberra teams probably would have been in finals.
Yeah.
I really expected us to be in finals. Maybe not beating GP in their home maze on our first time on the format. But yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that is different about ZLTAC to ZLTAC is it's every 2 years, isn't it? It's not every year.
I think it's actually every 3 years.
Every three?
It's every 3 years. So we actually, like, this year is a free year.
Okay.
Because, like, we know there is World Championship and people need to access to, like, save money for Kuala Lumpur because it's gonna be a very large trip, you know.
Yes.
So when we ended these competitions, we thought it's not gonna be good to just back up after 1 year, and we are keep having conversations about where will be the next ZLTAC. We have kind of an idea, but it's not confirmed yet. We don't have the arena yet confirmed. So we did like, okay, so 3 year this year, so I'm here.
Yeah.
Then 2020
is Worlds. Yeah.
Then the next
Worlds
ZLTAC.
is 3
So
years
that's
as well.
how we deal with that.
So if they were doing 2 years, sometimes Worlds.
Yeah.
It's
Championships.
just difficult to deal with that because you guys get a really competitive scene. So if we want people to just access to your competitions but also enjoying the World and the Europe, so we need to make them saving money between those events. It's not like it won't be worth it to just like back up every year.
Now I'm from Perth, Western Australia, which is on the other side of this country, literally the other side from where we are now.
Yeah.
And traveling here, so I have a I guess a loose understanding of how much money it does cost to come to this part of the country, because you know, and it's like a pretty long flight, not nearly as long as yours, but no, I do understand the plight of saving, B, traveling, and you know, and just in general being able to do that consistently, because I do love traveling for laser tag, but I also am constrained by the financial side of things. So that, I mean,
As we all are.
I think we can easily say that everyone is looking for a sponsor to make laser tag free. We really just need, if we've got like Qantas or something to sponsor us.
Yeah, if any Qantas people are listening in now, please sponsor everyone.
Now, you played a range of formats when you were in ZLTAC. So obviously you have the ones that people know about. So there'd be the teams event. There was a solos event, correct?
Yeah, there was a solos event.
And then there was Lord of the Rings.
No,
there was
No Lord of the Rings. And what else did we have?
Like some people want it, some people didn't want it. So like,
that's the same thing in Australia.
Like,
Not everyone
exactly,
wants
like,
it.
This it's a big family. Like,
Yeah.
you know that.
If you
So
ask
we get the
GP,
same, like,
it's more of an American thing than a
yeah,
Euro thing.
and actually there was the system also they were talking about. So it's we do have something like we do have Elim that you guys didn't do. So you know that we have different event than the lore. So it wasn't worth it to just.
And Elim is teams of 3, correct?
Teams of 4.
Teams of 4.
So there was basically a full day worth of Team Elim, teams of 4. And then in addition to that, there was no doubles. They don't play doubles.
5-2. It's
Five
a
a
full
team?
team. Yeah.
Okay,
It's a
5
full
a
team.
team.
Sorry for that.
Who are you playing
It's okay.
with?
Maybe we
you
just
missed
played
one
with
of
4.
Yeah,
them.
we
that's
so
why we
don't
didn't
need a
do
fit.
so well.
That's why we win. So it would have been, for anyone playing at home who played in Adelaide, it would have been fairly similar to that, minus the targets that gave you +1 life or -1 life.
Yeah, and more players.
And more players, of course, and you know, better, I guess, competitive nature.
And then there was also, instead of triples, there was Swedish format.
Yeah.
Ooh, Swede format. Swede format was fun to watch. Just
It was awesome.
Because I think Swede format, at least as someone who knew nothing about ZLTAC before watching, I guess, the videos and some of the stream, it just looks like an attack versus defense drill, basically.
It is basically exactly that. A little more competitive than the drills, but it was a lot of fun.
It's like doing drills with your teammates when you hate the other half of your team.
Yeah.
And you just really want to win. So at being someone who had done that quite considerably, probably in training and even maybe, having a bit of experience with ZLTAC and that sort of thing, how'd you go? Like, how was it? Did you feel prepared? Or
I did feel prepared. Like, it was kind of after a couple of comp games, but before like this really serious comp games. So it was more of, we kind of used it as a training exercise for our teammates. So.
Thank you.
Correct.
Thank you. I really feel good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you played with me. So.
Yeah, we did a great job.
I was like, thank you.
Your Swede format is just training to us Australians. Yeah. So okay.
No, it was cool.
So what was the Swede format? Just to explain it to the viewers at home who have we're saying Swede format. They're like, is it just laser tag with Swedish people? Or?
Well, it is, but also
Who would have thought?
there are Swedish
Rule
people
one.
playing it. So instead of playing in the entire maze, you're playing just within a single base. So there's 2 teams of 3. Both start outside the base, get inside. You can take the base as many times as you want.
Okay.
Every player can get it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And you basically just hold the other team out, keep taking the base as many times as you can for a certain period of time. Then
good scoring.
Get more bases, you win.
Okay, and are there reloads?
No reloads. You don't actually get points for killing people. You only
Oh,
get
really?
points for
Okay.
bases.
Okay, so pack points do not matter in Sweet Four. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's not like you take points back points, but it's not like
It's not
the main things is just to take the base,
Yeah.
hold it,
Yeah.
Take
just
it,
make as
hold
much
it.
because
You win by getting the base. more
yeah,
times.
exactly. Like if you just take, it's not like back points. We just in the short area, just around. We don't move
Yeah,
anywhere. We just
yeah.
focus one base.
Okay.
So we can play 3 games in the same time. In that case.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what happened.
All right, and
Yeah.
so is there an outer boundary? So obviously you want to stay in the base area. Could you technically go anywhere in the maze if you wanted to, or is it there's sort of like a understood outside barrier, I guess?
Like,
or-
it's like the base were so far away from each other.
Yeah.
That's what's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bases were very
Yeah.
divided.
Yeah, so it's only played in one base because I did watch I watched that Milky POV view of him playing, which
Yeah.
looked like I did love the subtitles and whatnot, so I could understand what he was saying. But it looked like something that I would not be opposed to playing that as a triples format here,
Yeah.
like 1 year, just to say, all right, Australian Swede format, let's go.
Well, Mopar kind of implied that he was going to try and get in for triples this year, so I was very excited for that. It didn't pan out that way.
Yeah. Okay. So with ZLTAC 2021 being a thing, we don't know where it is yet. As Cooper mentioned, we've got the.
I'm not gonna say where you're talking in the console. I'm not gonna say that.
Okay. So
So, you know,
somewhere in
it's
Europe, we
somewhere
can
in Europe.
confirm somewhere in Europe.
Probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe. And will it be? And will probably be Helios.
It will be Elias.
Ooh. Okay, that's
Narrow
big.
it down a bit there, I think.
Like it's exactly like you guys are gonna play another tournament with Nexus.
Yeah, we've sort of moved on. It is the
Not at this
Helios
point,
generation. It's no, we're not going backwards. We're going forwards.
I think a lot of good teams would kind of get very confused.
Oh,
Like
100%.
Wolfpack.
Yeah. Where would you find a Nexus site in Australia other than like Adelaide or something to train on? So this sort of, I guess, speaks to my next question for you, young Gustus, is how would you sell 2021, not knowing where it is, knowing that it's Helios? How would you sell that to me? Yeah, how would you sell it to me?
To you
Yeah.
and everyone else, I assume a little bit.
No, just
Mostly
me.
you.
Just
Okay.
me.
Look, if you're looking to travel to Europe, this is the way to do it. Like, you're going to go there, you're going to meet a bunch of super awesome people. Like, one of the German site ops basically said, if you're going to the tournament, come stay with us for a few days for free in Germany. Like,
Okay.
his wonderful wife made us a bunch of awesome food, and like, Toby, who's here now, showed us around, like, Frankfurt. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the best.
Okay,
Like,
and
it's such a great travel experience. Once you're over there, you might as well stay a few weeks and like just go around, go everywhere you want.
yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
So obviously we have the tradition in Australia that when you play an event, you bring your team shirts and you swap with
Yep.
someone that you either connect with, play a good game with, or someone that you admire.
Yeah.
So did you get your shirt swaps in Helsinki?
Yes. So
Who'd you get?
I already had the GP shirt from the year before.
okay.
So I didn't really want, and they're very. I don't want to say stingy, but they don't like giving their shirts away. They mean a lot to them.
Is that because they're just wearing? They don't have any dates on them, do they? It's the same
No,
one. It's the same one. They
different
could
colour every year.
Yeah, different color. Okay, so
Dark Omen says they're very expensive. So
I
ask
don't
him
know.
about it.
Really?
I felt it, and they're good, but they're not this, right? They're not this kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't-
Yeah,
Similar,
similar stuff. Okay. So, no, but okay. So based on when we know where, do you know roughly when that'll be announced? After Worlds, you would think that would make sense.
Like, I think before Worlds,
Okay.
we will have
Announce it at
something.
Worlds, right?
No,
And just
not
get the hype going.
afterwards. Afterwards, and yeah, no, we will announce it soon.
Okay.
Not now, but soon.
Yeah.
We will keep in touch. Like, we do have a Facebook page that we used to improve, like, less at the moment because we get like a lot of things, and it will come up in 2 years. So it's now think much to say.
Yeah.
But,
So are there rules in
just keep
place so
touch on that.
it won't be in Finland
No.
for a while?
GP gets what GP
I'm
wants.
sorry.
Gustus.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. I've been to
No,
Finland. I was just
it's like
asking.
only you. You are not gonna do a tournament every time in the same maze.
Yeah.
And in Europe, we actually do have a lot of mazes who are really interesting, so we can actually play a good game there.
Okay.
That's what we want to, because our goal is to build something in Europe.
Yeah.
It were never been before, so it was the first European tournaments.
Yeah.
So we need to keep improving, like you guys do.
Yeah.
You do well since many years.
Now, I don't know about you, but she segued perfectly into this next part of what we were hoping to achieve here in EuroChat.
Yep.
Was let's talk about Cooper. Now, Cooper, I had met you before this, Nats, and I knew by your accent, I knew that you were French, but you were in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were in New Zealand for some amount of time and played ZLTAC events. So when did you play ZLTAC?
ZLTAC.
Your first zone ZLTAC Nationals Australia.
Bendigo.
Bendigos?
Bendigos when 2015.
Yes.
Yeah, I came with a New Zealand team.
Okay.
So they bring me there.
And was that? Have you only played the one?
Just this one.
Just Bendigo?
Just Bendigo.
Yeah, and so this time round, you've come to the Sunshine Coast in Queensland with your, I guess, multinational team, the Blue Eagles. So can you just walk me through who's on your team and I guess where they're from?
Yeah, so we get 2 players, Cataract and Reaper. They're from Germany.
Okay.
They are actually new in the scene, like in zone scene, because they were not from this system. Reaper was, but not Cataract. So they're actually new in Europe for us, in our scene, but they are like growing up so well. Like it's just
they're molding well. They're feeling
just like it's impressed. Like they won't just come. They play this kind of competitions. It's only a year or something.
Okay.
We are all impressed. Like we are actually all impressed. For that, everybody have the same say the same thing for them. And we get Detum, who is from Finland. So he won the solo at ZLTAC. He won it. That wasn't
so
the only event OGP didn't won. Detum won the solo. I'm so sorry. Like
You're usually wins.
Oh my
they
God.
usually used to win a lot of Finnish and Swedish tournaments, and he won the last one.
So was that the first time Yor has ever been seen crying in public?
Nah.
No, he's been known to shed a tear, but so
He took it better than I was expecting.
okay.
He was pretty stoic.
I mean, he's stoic in the back. He's like,
Actually, like we were just more focusing on how people were so happy about
Yeah.
it. Like it was just it doesn't matter like who's really actually winning, but the Europe still like holding back the GP were really good.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
Okay.
They actually really deserve it. They work like a team. They are really strong and everything. It's just like someone show up, someone different. So everybody was like, what happened? Like,
Yeah, it was
very
just
exciting.
so yeah.
That
it
would've
was
been
a
like-
really emotional moment.
yeah. So
you know?
That's
those
a bit of an underdog victory.
yeah. So that yeah, and I think that speaks to yours like I guess understanding of the scene.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's while it may suck for him to not continue that like dominance throughout his career, it's really good for the scene for someone else
really
to
good.
come in and be like, I can win too, because it
Absolutely,
means it gives you something to aspire to.
It gives everyone hope.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We can look up and see Dedham. It's like you could be Dedham. We could, And so,
and 2 US players.
2
Also,
Americans.
I'm not like gonna forget them. They
2
are,
law-loving Americans.
yeah, lovely Americans. No, Invalid and Skywalker.
Okay.
So yeah, I first met them here. Like Invalid, I met him when I was in Sweden.
Okay.
So he came already to Europe. So he do have an experience of what's happening in Europe.
Yeah.
Skywalker never been there yet. So one day maybe he will, since he met us.
Yeah, and so and Invalid we had come to, was it Adelaide? Or he's been here once
I think he
before.
went, yeah.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
he was
Don in Adelaide.
Yeah, exactly. Much from the moment you could tell that he's very American and he's very fun to hang out with, right?
No, it's cool.
Now-
I really like my team is cool to join. That's no big deal with that.
How has the comp been going for you guys? Obviously switching from your classic 1 shot a second, 8-second DX with stuns to one of the quickest formats in the world, 2 shots a second, 8-second DX with no stuns. How has that been as a transition? Obviously you knew it was coming, but did that really end up helping you prepare?
Nah, I wasn't there for 4 years, and
Yeah.
I was playing like a 2 shot per second since I left New Zealand and Australia. Then when we went back, was like, okay, so we have many players didn't even train this kind of shooting.
Yeah.
We train, but like not as much as you guys do,
Yeah.
not as a team. So we first met each other in these competitions. We never trained before. So that's one of the reasons of why we still need to fix some stuff. But at the moment, we just like figure out for the basic things. Then, I hope so.
One of the things I was speculating about, like watching a couple of your games the other night, was, is there any sort of like communication barrier, like a language? Not so much language. Obviously, you all
Like-
speak pretty good English, but like, Is it, I guess the way you would communicate, come in through the back door, there's an enemy player coming in through the back door. Has that been a bit of a hurdle to get over, or has that been...
But it's different. Like for me, I used to, because I did play in the New Zealand team, so I use of the call as you guys are doing, so it's fine. With the American, I think my way to scream is fine. They got it. After all, it's just like more the way we are dealing with the team. Like we begin to just figure out how to work together. The communication still a little bit a problem. I don't think it's really a language barrier. Like it's not really the language, because we all speak English very well. We do understand each other. Sometimes, of course, we mess up a few words, but it's not that big deal.
Yeah. And so Europeans usually are a lot quieter in the maze as well. So like Toby and Reaper.
You can use my voice for
not
that.
you. And Deedham, they're not used to such like a loud playing environment, and this maze is very hard.
That's an excellent point. That Sunny Coast is actually one of the loudest mazes we've ever had. I think that's partially due to like the way the roof works out and that sort of thing. Because I do remember, because I was here back in 2009, so 10 years ago, and I just remember it just being insanely loud. So you were at the last year's European Championship as well, right? And that's where you obviously hung out with everyone's favourite slickback Canberran, Gustice. So who are you playing for? Is this the jersey?
Was this one? Yeah, was the Bedford Lions that I was waiting with.
Okay.
So I'm a council member of Europe. So I did kind of made it since. So what happens is we hold the World Championship in France. 2017 was. Then we were hanging out all together. Gus was here, like it was like a pleasure. And then we were like, okay, so why not making something like the Australians do? Like, I'm not saying like see you like a goal, but kind of. Sorry for that. I'm maybe you will appreciate that. But since I left Australia, I watching the way you are dealing with your event, they are really well made. Like. It's crazy how well made is it?
Yeah.
We did try to do something good for words and have a lot of help. And we were like, okay, so we need this in Europe. We just actually do have a really big scene in Finland. That's why we do have. We have 2-3 teams in Sweden who really show up most of the time.
Yeah.
And we have the other Europe is like a none really. So when I came back from New Zealand, I get in touch with the Finnish, and then I tried to bring some French over there. I was like, okay, why not like beginning to get out from the country and just meet those people, because I did meet it. I was kind of one of the new players coming out and check what's going on outside, like in the real competitions. So I just wanted to just share it with everyone, like how good it was, and just meet more people outside, because you get big scene, and we do have a big scene.
So you guys are like a bit inspired by what we do, and you kind of saw what was possible.
Not just me, because I really love you guys. That's all. You know what I meant.
It's really interesting how that sort of like love of laser tag can just bring people together. It's like you play laser tag, let's play laser tag together. And then if you're like, oh, we're both kind of good, let's play against each other. Now, so you mentioned you're a committee member of the Europe scene. So how many European countries are a part of this committee?
So part of the committee since the last one.
Yeah.
Before it was just only France, Sweden, and Finland.
Okay.
Only.
Yeah. Because
we were like 5 of us. So 5 of us, we making the first ZLTAC tournament. We were the 5 council, and then just afterward we met the German. So we went there. We showed them the Swedish national. They did really appreciate the scene. We are all friendly there. So. Yeah. That's cool. So now, since you get a new council after each handing tournaments, so we had a spot to the German.
Okay.
They do have a spot now.
Yeah.
But the scene is more bigger than this. They don't get a council member yet.
Yeah, so they're not. Their scene isn't big enough to warrant a spot on the committee, but they get to have like their 2 cents worth, like their opinions are heard and that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So we have actually the Russian. Like we used to go there also. The Norway.
Yeah.
Norway, they get few players, so we went there also to make a quick tournament.
No,
we just love travel in Europe since I left Australia, to be honest.
Because it's a little bit easier to travel, around Europe, isn't it? Like, if you're going from France to Germany, like, how long would that take?
Not even an hour and a half by plane, something.
It's kind of like trying to go to Australia.
Yeah. So basically,
even driving, you can it's no big deal.
Yeah. So what it sounds like is like the European laser tag scene is spread over like countries, whereas in Australia it's spread over states of roughly the same kind of distance.
It's pretty similar, like countries to states here. So similar distance, similar community. Like everyone gets along really well together. Like the thing about making the tournament, though, I think, is that like imagine trying to make what we have here if everyone spoke a different language, played on a different system, and played a different format.
Well, I think two of those three things were true a while ago. We definitely spoke a different language and played a different format. But so after I guess ZLTAC last year, I had a look through your journey through European laser tag. So as you said, you've been a party to several tournaments last year. Was there anything else, any other big tournaments that you had your hand in last year? Or
like for myself, I didn't win many of them because I try to show up in much event as I can do.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them. Actually, what I'm doing at the moment, my role is just to meet people.
Yeah.
So I went to Spain. So I met them. I made a small member tournament because they never did before.
Yeah.
I did UK. Like I went to the Great Britain. I went there. I met them. Wow. So they are really nice people also, and they make me just playing a members night. Like we did a members night just to meet each other. Then I promised I will go back again to meet them again. So what I'm doing is more like socializing people together. Yeah. Because that's what we missed in Europe. We do have our own tournaments, but only Finland and Sweden did swap to each other.
Yeah, okay.
Not much.
Yeah. All right, as you might be able to hear behind us, they are starting up more team games. So I think we'll finish on one last question of what are we looking forward to in the European scene? Like what, after ZLTAC, now we're here at ZLTAC, what's the next thing that you guys are looking forward to in European laser tag? Cooper, what are you looking forward to?
Looking for getting more countries.
More countries?
And each country is getting them big scene to put the best of them team over there. So first of all, we try to just like have new countries because Europe is big.
Yeah.
I know we do have a lot of zone there, so I think we can manage, but it will take a long time. So we need to have some people just think on it to build something. Then the team will show up. Okay. And then Europe will be the biggest team on the world. Awesome. I'm sorry for that.
No, more people, everyone's close together. You know, and we'd be more than happy for you guys to compete and potentially even get bigger than us. Because I mean, we love laser tag. You love laser tag. It getting bigger is not an issue for us. No. Gus, what are you looking forward to?
It's going to be a couple of years before I go back to Europe.
Yeah.
Just because of money and leave for work and stuff. But hopefully, Worlds next year, I'll be able to see everyone who comes over from Europe.
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to be great.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that has been EuroChat. So Cooper, you're hanging around to do a bit of commentary with me after this. Is that correct?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I will check. We will check.
You check? All right.
It will be a pleasure to stay with you on that.
Okay, that'd be awesome. Because what I'd like you to hang around and do potentially is we didn't really, I guess, get to the questions. Really so if you do have any questions, hopefully Cooper will be able to hang around. Worst case scenario, if you have a question, fire it off in chat, and hopefully there is a European watching. If not, we can put it out there and try and get it answered. But ladies and gentlemen at home, thank you for watching. Gus, it's been a pleasure as always, mate. Thank you.
Yes, no problem.
And
thanks for having me.
Cooper, thank you very much for joining me this evening. All right, that's EuroChat for 2019, boys and girls. Thank you very much for your time. I'm Mooshu, and stay tuned for some team games.